Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just like cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Hadouken!
Brian the Red knows all these things, doesn't he?
I've only helped out at the Retro Gaming Expo 2 years in a row.
Oh, is that all?
No.
Welcome back, everybody. Talk Radio, and the phone lines are open at 971-533-7111. And before we get too far into today's show, I have to do some shameless self-promotion. Yeah.
No.
As if having a show called The Russ Belville Show wasn't enough. We're going to have some more self-promotion.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Russ Belville, what has Russ Belville been doing besides The Russ Belville Show?
Well, let me tell you.
On the Russ Belville Network. Russ Belville Media.
I know.
No, the people want to know, Mr. Russ Belville.
I'm on it. All right.
What has Russ Belville been up to?
So here's the deal. It's like, guy got to make a buck. That's what it is. Guy got to make a buck. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Damn right.
I'm just a brother trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's the deal.
Trying to take them lemons and make some lemonade.
There you go. So if you go to our 420radio.org website, we now have brand new shop available, a store. And this store has something the last store did not have, or at least we had not yet implemented, and that is the ability to sell downloadable files.
Oh, yeah.
Virtual products, as it were.
Very good.
And it just so happens that I have a plethora of digital files on this computer.
Now, why would you say you have a plethora when you do not know what a plethora is?
I know what a plethora is.
Of course you do.
I have a plethora of digital files. And so I went and took all of my PowerPoint presentations, well, not all of them, but some of the ones that I've done publicly, at normal conferences and stuff, in the Southern Cannabis Conference and so on. I've taken a lot of my PowerPoint presentations and I've placed them in the shop, available for purchase, on sale now. Most of them are on sale for the rest of this month.
Are you?
I'm serious.
Seriously.
These downloads, you download the file, right? You just pay whatever it costs. You download the file, it gets in your shopping cart, all that kind of stuff. Now, the PowerPoints come in two versions. There's the PowerPoint version, which is more expensive because you can cut and paste stuff out of the slides, and you can move slides around and put them in your own stuff, whatever.
Yep.
And then there's the slideshow version, which just is the run on its own slideshow, right? And that's cheaper because you can't really copy much stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a movie thing.
There you go. So you can get those now at the 420radio.org shop, which, interestingly enough, is at 420radio.org/shop.
Oh, really? Oh.
So I wanted to show you, though, if you remember from the Southern Cannabis Reform Conference, I did the 420 Radio drug test.
Yeah.
Remember that, right? Well,
this is the only drug test,
that
where
we
you're
can pass.
required to get high.
The only drug test we have any shot in hell of passing. So, since I can now put digital files up, I decided that I would update the 420 Radio thing, the 420 Radio drug test, and tighten it up so that it was, usable by you could add more questions to it. It was modifiable, all that kind of stuff.
Now an interactive drug test.
And included like instruction page, like, now there's an instructions page that tells you how to run the damn thing, what the rules are, all of that.
It explains all of the coding that Russ had to do.
Yep. And now, and I totally I changed the way the coding works. I had it coded so that all 42 questions were on 6 different spreadsheets, but thanks to some of my remembering of Excel database functions, I now have all the questions in a database. So this game show, and by the way, you wouldn't have to use this just for drug war game show. It could be any game show you want, right?
It could,
this spreadsheet will hold 1 million or so questions. Yeah, you can put 1 million freaking questions in this thing. Right now, there's 42.
Yes, and it's a Jeopardy-esque.
Jeopardy-esque. So here it is. This is where you see the different questions, right? There's Sensimilia Science, and basically you rate them in their what category. You can add new categories, right?
Now,
category,
if
weight,
I was somebody
answer.
that didn't have direct access to this, being here in the studio, I would say go ahead and download this just for a cheat sheet. You can if you can memorize the 42 questions that he has in here, you can stump any bullshit that anybody tries to throw at you that's anti-cannabis.
There's that. So the red questions are the default questions that come with them. The black ones, I now have expansion packs.
Oh my!
Taking a key from gaming, right? So now there's question expansion packs. The latest expansion pack. These are brand new questions. I was up till 5 a.m. last night writing
direct from Russ Belville Media.
That's right, Radical Russ Media. And so you guys at the Southern Cannabis Conference, you didn't get these questions. We have now questions on Viper Sports, reefer music, pot and politics, medical cannabis, prohibitionists, and reform legends. So basically, here's how it works, right? You got your board up here with your different categories, and now since there's all those different categories, we can actually select the different categories. You can put them whatever order you want. So Viper Sports, pot and politics. Where were we?
Fully
reefer music.
Interactive.
All right, we'll go to let's see, medical cannabis. Whoops, jumped one. Reefer music. Nope, did reefer music. So medical cannabis. Reform legends. Oh, there's prohibitionists, and reform legends. Okay.
Okay, Rio. Yes, expansion pack is old school terminology. It's an upgrade.
Upgrade? Is that what it is now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Expansion pack, question pack, whatever. All right. So if you remember the game show, the way it works is you've got 2 different teams. I'll tell you what. Let's take a break, and when we come back, perhaps we'll just get some people in the chat room to be our testers. So let's do this.
Maybe we'll get a couple people to call up and. Who do we got in our Google Hangout?
I don't know. I'm not in it.
Somebody send us a link to the Google Hangout in the chat.
Send it over to Brian. I got enough screens.
You cut people, you smoke trees till you get what you need now. Designer drugs and minted smoke to get through the day. You always get them so high.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Greatest threats to liberty has been the government taking people's liberty for things that people are in favor of. The Pew Research Group shows that 52% of Americans think marijuana should not be illegal. And yet there are people in jail, and your Justice Department is continuing to put people in jail for sale and use on occasion of marijuana. That's something the American public has finally caught up with. It was a cultural lag, and it's been an injustice for 40 years in this country to take people's liberty for something that was similar to alcohol. You have continued what is allowing the Mexican cartels power and the power to make money, ruin Mexico, hurt our country by having a prohibition in the late 20th and 21st century. We saw it didn't work in this country in the 20s. We remedied it. This is the time to remedy this prohibition. And I would hope you would do.
I'm Sub Cool from Team Green Avenger. At TGAgenetics.com, we are working on the leading edge of medical strains. Our strains are rigorously tested for THC, CBD, THCV, and other critical cannabinoids. Know your grow. Check out our genetic diversity at TGAgenetics.com, the home of Jelly Bean, Jack the Ripper, Vortex, and other award-winning cannabis strains.
Pass the joint on the left-hand side. Only on the left-hand side. Pass the joint on the left-hand side. Only on the left.
That's Cypress Hill, past the Dutch. Although I'm willing to make exceptions if I'm on the right-hand side. I'm a practical man after all. Welcome back to the show, Toker Talk Radio. Our phone lines are open at 971-533-7111. But, we don't have to do this through the phone lines. I was just thinking we can do this through the chat room. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to move my chat room screen so I can actually see it. Let's put you over there. But
I told you had more desktop.
Yeah, see? I can still see desktop. Why isn't there anything occupying that small space?
Yeah. That's your Skype window. That's
yeah, I could put a Skype window there.
No, I'm saying that's where it pops up.
Oh, yes, that's right. All right, so here's the way this is going to work. Let me get the game screen up. All right, so here's our game screen. And it's going to be ladies versus dudes. Okay? And so we'll watch the chat room. And with you chatters, as I ask these questions, you just, type your answer into the chat room.
And if you want to chime in, type /login.
That's right. And the first right answer we see, if it's a dude, we'll give the weight to the dudes. If it's a lady, we'll give the weight to the ladies.
And we want nothing going to the man.
Nothing to the man. Although
nothing going to the man.
I don't know really we can give any to the man, because in the regular gameplay, the first player gets a chance to answer. If he misses it, the second player from the other team gets a chance to answer. And then if they miss it, the man gets it. Mm-hmm. But with this chat thing, how would I do that? I don't think it's going to work. So we'll just go ladies versus dudes for now. All right. So we get to start off, but we'll have you pick the categories, since somebody has to pick the categories. And then once you'll pick the first category, then once someone gets it right, that person in the chat room, they can pick the category. So we got Viper Sports, Pot and Politics, Reefer Music, Medical Cannabis, Prohibitionists, and Reform Legends. The questions range from...
Actually, I think we should change one to Sensibilia Science.
All right, let me take out. I want to test the new questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right, fine.
But let's and then the values are swag, eighth, quarter, half, ounce, 2 ounce, quarter pound. The way this works, your 1/8 ounce questions, which are the swag and the 1/8 questions, are true false. Your quarter ounce questions are ABC multiple choice. Your half ounce questions are ABCD multiple choice in order. Got to put them in the right order most of the time. Your 1 ounce questions, you have to give a direct answer. 2 ounce questions, it's usually multiple answers, and a 4 ounce question is a stumper. Chat room, are we ready? Let's see if our chat room in here. Oh, Libra's it for the ladies today. That's almost not fair.
Oh, she's where's Sharon?
All right, you guys divide yourselves into a team. How about moderators versus the rest of the chat room?
Oh, come on.
Mods versus chatters. Should we do it that way?
We got 50 people. No, we got.
Well, here's the thing: the mods should be smarter on the issues because they've listened to the show for so long.
Yeah, well, they
but
better
there's
be.
more people they have to fight against.
Okay.
So that sounds more fun. Wait a minute, Jam Band fans, female, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, men, women, or mods, chatters?
Okay. Actually, I think I'll pick these people. So we'll have Libra and Jam Band, and we'll have them going against Big Daddy Fink and Bacon Crispy.
Okay, because they're the ones that are responding. Okay.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to chime in, that's fine too. You can contribute. And this means we won't be using the lifelines. Normally, there's lifelines. Ask the audience, team answer, where the whole team can try to answer, and then stump the chumps, where you have to force the other team to come up with the right answer. We're not going to use those.
Yeah, we're not going to use our special.
Okay, so Brian will start with the first category and amount.
Well, one of my personal favorites, we'll start off with the medical cannabis category.
Medical cannabis for?
And I think we'll start off with a 1 ounce question. So this should be a direct answer from these people.
Medical cannabis for an ounce. And so when you download this from the shop, all you do is you click on ounce in that category, and it pops up that question. So here's the question. This state is the only medical marijuana state where doctors must register in order to recommend to patients, and cannabis varieties are limited to 3 statewide of less than 10% THC. Name it. Chat room? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
Come on, guys.
Come on,
guys versus gals. Well, we've got the lag, you know.
Is there a lag? Yes, chat room. It's up to you. You've got to answer the question. This is how we game test here. New Jersey, Libra gets it. New Jersey.
Ding, ding. Okay,
all right. The answer is yes. Yep. The answer is New Jersey. the no garden state.
Yes. Well, see, now this also isn't quite that fair because some people have different bandwidth. You know, they have different speed connection because as I've noticed when we're doing backstage chat that they start bobbing their heads at different times. So obviously it's coming through their line slower.
That we can't, the fairness will have to,
okay,
tough.
so you'll have to be a little bit psychic if you want to chime in on this.
All right, so here's an improvement over the last version of this file. When you come back, I always had trouble when I came back. It's like, all right, now,
what
was
question
going on?
did you just answer?
Okay, well, ladies had the board, so I can keep track of it there. And this was the last question, medical cannabis for an ounce.
Oh, that's
so now
excellent.
I know to come over here.
Because last time we were like, damn it, what question are we looking at?
Exactly.
Oh, wait, that's the answer. Stop. No.
So here you go. Ladies get that ounce. So now the ladies have an ounce over here. And I added this part. There are still 47 ounces left on the board.
Ooh.
Now we get Lively Libra answered the question properly, so she gets to choose the next question.
Okay.
We have Viper Sports, Pot and Politics, Reefer Music, Medical Cannabis, Prohibitionists, and Reform Legends. Lively Libra gets to choose. Let's see what she will choose. From Viper Sports, Pot and Politics, Reefer Music, Medical Cannabis, Prohibitionists, and Reform Legends. And this is available for download. The 420 Drug Test 2.0. All available for download. We're still waiting for Libra. Reefer Music for $0.25. Reefer Music for $0.25. Which of these 1960s pop icons recorded an anti-marijuana public service ad? A. Jim Morrison. B. Sonny Bono. C. Neil Sedaka.
I think I know this one.
Yep, there is a hell of a lag. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. That's
this is why I wanted someone to call in.
Beta testing.
So lag, but no, everybody was shy. Nobody wants to call.
Yeah, we got Uber beta testing. I know, even when it's free to call in with Skype.
Normal Patriot says B. That is correct.
Yay!
That is correct. Normal Patriot gets B, so the gentlemen get a score. So here we got, it was Reefer Music for $0.25.
$0.25.
Dudes get $0.25, and the board now belongs to Normal Patriot, who can choose from amongst Viper Sports, Pot and Politics, Reefer Music, Medical Cannabis, Prohibitionists, and Reform Legends.
Prohibitionists.
We shall see.
Prohibitionists.
Waiting for our art. Yeah, I know. I need the TikTok music, don't I? I'll have to find out how this goes. A little bit of a lag because it takes a few seconds to get out there through Pot and Politics for $4.20. Pot and Politics for $4.20. Give me your weight.
That would be 2 ounces.
2 ounces is $4.20. All right, Pot and Politics.
About $420. Yeah, that'd be about 2 ounces.
All right, Pot and Politics for 2 ounces. There are 6 states where marijuana possession is decriminalized, but medical marijuana use is not allowed. Name 3 of them. Ooh, decrim states that aren't medical.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Got to come up with 3. 3 decrim states that are not medical marijuana states. Bacon Crispy says, holy crap, this is lagging as all hell. Okay, so maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe this isn't going to work doing the testing here through the chat room. Perhaps we need someone to call in for this to be able to test this appropriately. But all right, so let's forget about the test. The answer is Nebraska, Mississippi, New York, Ohio, North Carolina, and Minnesota.
Yes, so any 3 of those would have won you the question.
3 of those. So, yeah, and so that would just come back here. We'd say Pot and Politics for 2 ounces. Perhaps the man got that. Okay, so there you go.
Because the chat room lagged.
And that's okay. Don't worry, guys. Thank you, chat room, for trying. Yay!
Yes.
That's right. But here's the other thing. When you're done with the game, there is now a macro to clear and reset the board to the original defaults.
Nice.
Press Control-Shift-R. Bam! You're back to the original. Sinsemilla Science.
All 48 ounces back on the board.
Yes. So check this out. It's available at our 420radio.org shop. You can download it. It's on sale right now for $29.99.
And like I said, the frickin' just the spreadsheet that shows, all of the different questions and answers to those questions. If you memorize that, you would be able to kick the crap in conversation out of anybody who has anything bad to say about cannabis.
Yeah, no kidding.
So.
And I put a lot of work into this thing, and I hope y'all like it. And, it's really for, reform organizations. If you're having, a membership meeting, you want to liven it up a little bit, get people interested, have a fun way of giving away some door prize or something, it's going to be perfect for you. Oh, hello. It's 4:20 here on the Pacific Time. Out here on the West Coast. We hope you're having a good 420. Remember, we are on a flight next Wednesday, so this is our last Wednesday show for a while. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I got some more stories to tell you.
Have you ever met that
You're listening to the Toker Talk Radio on 420radio.org.
If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Let him bring in the beat. Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant, high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org. Let him bring in the beat.
Escondido, High Times Magazine, here with another video grow tip of the week. We're here in a little hydroponic garden. It's a very manageable operation. Some of you might be doing something similar at home or thinking of it. And we just wanted to show you a little bit about the feeding system, the irrigation system, if you will, that they've implemented in this grow room. Because it's one of the more popular varieties these days. It's very simple. It's a top feed hydro system. And if you just look right down here in the pot, you'll see right at the top they're using top hatch spray emitters staked into the medium, and they just are fed by spaghetti lines, and they just do a little top feed. They just spray 360 degrees all the way around. It gets even penetration. And this grower, he does it very simply. They just water for about 2 minutes per day. That's all it takes, 2 minutes per day. They got 4,000 watts running in this room, and it's going to yield somewhere around 7 pounds. And they're using a nutrient line called Black Label Nutrients. It's very simple, and it's amazing that they get these yields. If you look, the NPK ratios are very low, and with a feeding regimen of only 2 minutes per day, but you still see the weight, the chunkiness of these buds. This is an OG pheno. It's in week 7. It'll go just past 60 days, I believe, and the yield is epic. So there you go. If you're thinking about doing some hydro, check out some top feed systems. Spray emitters are great. And you want to find a nutrient line that has a minimalistic approach. Something that's not going to clog up your spaghetti lines. It's going to get, just the right amount of nutrients to the plants so that they're happy and healthy. And man, all I can say is I wish they were coming down today. But they're not. See you guys later. Nico out.
Through the water, in the sky.
It's amazing to consider that I'm holding in my hands the place where someone once felt, thought, and loved. For centuries, scientists have been battling to understand what this unappealing object is all about. What the object is all about.
Here is this massive
An ode to the brain, ladies and gentlemen. From the Symphony of Science, you can find this music at symphonyofscience.com. Downloads available and videos available. Great stuff if you're nerdy like us. It's Toker Talk Radio, keeping you up on what's happening. Tomorrow and Friday will be our last shows here at Rolla J Studios. No, not that. Let's do this one. All right, whatever.
Okay. I guess Liebermater's just fucking laughing at us.
I know. He's teasing us today.
He's like, ha ha.
I have that one. That's much better. All right, so yeah, these are our last 2 shows coming up here at Rolla J Studios. Tomorrow is Russ Belville show number 200.
the hell you say?
Yeah, that means 200 shows able to put together independently. Yeah,
Russ Belville show.
Amazing, 200. So thank you so much for your support.
And that's in a year
possible.
too.
Yeah,
just a year.
Yeah, it's about 200. I do about 200 shows a year. Is about what it really works out to, because I take
national holidays off.
National holidays are off, and
including next Monday.
Try to take a week or two off in the like between each season. You know, kind of like Jon Stewart does, except he takes like 6 weeks. But yeah, try to get a little time away to just completely get away from it. And then, of course, there's some days off we have for travel days, which leads me right to next week. Next week is a federal holiday on Monday.
Yep.
So we won't have a show. Tuesday will be our first show from Roll a Tide Studios at Herb Thrasher's place. We're going to set up, and that will be the studio through June. So the month of June, it'll be Roll a Tide Studios, because I will be on the road. We're starting in Aspen, and then I go to Dallas, Fort Worth, and then I go to Arizona, and then I go to Southern California, then I go to Northern California, then I go to Las Vegas. And I get back like mid-July sometime.
It's going to be an interesting month or so.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary for me, but, you know.
It's scary for all of us, trust me. I got to try to find a place to live and run a show and be on tour at the same time over the span of a month with very little guaranteed income to performance.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. So we will make that happen.
We know all about the guaranteed very little income.
Yeah, That's why I was up till 5 writing a spreadsheet to sell. So, yeah, so we are going to be, really, really working our asses off this next month.
To try and hold this thing together. So,
and we are going to do
so. Do our damnedest to keep this network and everything alive and rolling smooth.
Yeah, and if you got any tips or suggestions or leads for like advertisers or sponsors or anything, use our contact form. Just send us a note.
Yeah, I mean, we are technically a nonprofit now, so they can write off their advertising. You know,
so when you advertise, you can't write off a donation or your membership.
Not the donations or membership, because it's a different kind of nonprofit.
Right, we're a 501c4.
But you can, if you have a business or you know somebody who's got a business that is cannabis friendly and wouldn't mind having some extra advertising. We've got very negotiable rates.
You betcha. Yeah, very negotiable. So help us out if you can. Next week, no show Monday, new show Tuesday in a new studio. Then Wednesday through Friday, no shows.
On the road again.
Because me and
in
Brian
the air for the first time.
We'll be in the air. He will be flying for the first time. I'll be flying for the at least 25th time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be first and second because we've got a hop from Denver to Aspen.
Yeah, those little puddle jumpers are fun too.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I think they called it an Airbus or something.
Yeah, they're great. So, we will be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because we'll be in Aspen at the legal seminar. We'll also be at Jerry Goldstein's party. We will also be at the cookout at Owl Farm, Hunter S. Thompson's home.
I still can't quite get my head around it.
Isn't that going to be great? Yeah, we're going to be up there at Owl Farm with his widow, Anita Thompson, and his family, however much of his family shows up, and a lot of the great musicians in the area. Last time I was up there, I was jamming with a guy from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, I believe. So, and I'll be bringing my bass too, so it's going to be a real good time. I'm going to get up and jam. We're going to have some fun. So we're going to collect a lot of video from that, and then the following week, I'm in Denver, and Red Eyes is back here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where things get fun, because the following week, I'm going to be remoting in from Denver. He's going to be at the Roll of Tide Studios trying to make that
engineer, and yeah.
We'll see how that works.
Yep.
And also still running other shows. Now, I think I may put Viper Hour into reruns. I got so much. So I think I'll put Viper Hour into reruns. We'll still go with Different View, Red Eyes, Big Daddy Fink's no issue because that's just, an upload from him. And then Herb Show live from Herb's studio.
Yeah.
You won't even need me, so that I'll have, because of course Friday nights I'll be with the band, and doing the tour stuff, so I wouldn't be able to do the Friday night show anyway.
And Russ has all of the slides and effects and other crap all underneath categories like he does. So all I got to do is go to Herb's category, or go to Russell's category, go to Iva's category, go to my category.
There, it's all there.
It'll be interesting.
And, Bry's already engineered the flashback show.
Yeah, I've sat in the big chair before a couple of times.
It's going to be good. We're going to do real well, and we thank each and every one of you. Thank you for your support, because we couldn't do it without you. This is kind of my dream, to just, to be a marijuana journalist and to cover this issue, and to do so independently and with a sharp critical eye, even for the top leadership. And I can only do that as an independent, and it's you guys. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yep. All right. So I wanted to get to...
Well, there was one note I wanted to make. People in the chat, they may be disappointed that they never got to visit the studio, but that's okay. You can still visit Portland. Let us know you're coming. We'll meet you at the airport. We'll meet you at the bus station.
And there'll be a new.
We'll show you around, and there's going to be a new studio as soon as Russ gets back in July.
Yeah, we'll get a new home.
Hopefully, the couple of cats he's met in the chat there are going to step up, and we're going to all have a nice little Undergreen Railroad party. And
it's going to be real nice, because what we're looking at here, me and these two other guys who are in the chat room right now.
Log cabin?
A log cabin? You got a log cabin in Oregon?
Sorry.
Still want a log cabin. And I want to invite Barry McCaffrey to it. We're still looking at getting a place, having a 3-roommate situation, 3-bedroom place that has a big enough area for the studio, of course. They need medical marijuana protection. They're patients. They could really benefit from being out here. I need to have patients living with me to give me some legal cover. That helps me a lot, so... win-win situation. Plus, I need people here when I'm gone, because I go out of town so much. I don't want to leave a bunch of equipment laying around where people could rip it off.
Yep. So, I know it was fine before, because he had Iva here running her business.
And Roscoe, for that matter.
Yeah, and the little guard pup. Yeah.
So, when we come back, it's really looking good, because the places that I'm looking at, the prices are pretty good rental-wise, ranging from like about $1,300 to about $1,700. Between 3 guys, if we can get a place that's, $1,200, $1,300, that's pretty cheap for each of the 3 of us, and that means more money that can get poured into 420 Radio. So, looking forward to a lot of this stuff. All right, let me get back to the marijuana, because there was a story in here.
Marijuana.
I had to talk about.
We need to find out why there's so much marijuana in our country. We must put a stop to it with a series
Kevin
of
Sabet has a new article up at the Baker Institute blog from the Houston Chronicle. Where the question was, will legalizing marijuana improve civil liberties? And, of course, Kevin has to say no.
Of course, he has to say it.
Legalizing marijuana would not improve civil liberties, because, nobody really gets arrested or goes to jail. Alcohol, there's more arrests for alcohol. He pulls up that 2.3 million arrests for alcohol. Because it's legal, we have so many more arrests for it. Yeah, because people that drink alcohol do criminal shit. They get in fights.
And they do stupid
they
shit.
Puke on shit.
They don't know what they're doing. They lose control of their faculties and end up breaking laws.
All his stupid arguments are in here, and so I'm going to take that apart on tomorrow's show when I have a chance to really dig in. Because
rant.
When it comes to Sabet, I like to have graphs.
Yeah.
I like to have graphs. So we'll get to that tomorrow. But there was another story.
Because he has none. We like to use some.
There's another story I have to get to here, which is, you remember this case of Trayvon Martin?
Yes, of course.
Okay, Trayvon Martin, a young black kid, 17-year-old in Florida, who got shot and killed by George Zimmerman, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we really have to say allegedly, because he's claiming the defense that he was using Florida's stand your ground law.
Mm-hmm.
If you claim that defense, there's no allegedly to the fact you shot someone.
Yeah, it's
all
ridiculous.
Right, whatever.
But anyway, because the kid was, young, African American, wearing a hoodie in a somewhat gated area.
Yeah, and this Zimmer was kind of a cop wannabe.
He saw himself as protector of the neighborhood.
You got to protect the neighborhood from these black kids with the saggy pants.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me read this.
Music.
This comes from Headline News. You're all Jodi Arias and, all whatever scandal trial is up there on it, right? Headline News. George Zimmerman's attorneys want jurors to hear evidence about how Trayvon Martin may have been high on marijuana the night he was shot to death. Yeah, blame the victim.
Of course.
Martin's toxicology report indicates that THC, the active drug in marijuana, was in his blood at the time of his death on February 26, 2012. In court documents filed Tuesday, Zimmerman's attorneys argue that the report shows Martin's judgment may have been impaired the night of the shooting, and it may have affected his decision-making. Because you know when you're high how belligerent you get.
Yeah.
Zimmerman's drug use, the shooter's drug use, has also come up in the case. Martin's family attorney, Ben Crump, says Zimmerman should have been tested for drugs on the night of the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we have a toxicology report on the dead black kid. We don't know if the shooter guy had any drugs in his system.
No,
isn't that
because the cops didn't do their job, but the toxicologists at the lab did theirs for the body.
Right,
they were
because
examining it.
Because when this went down, remember famously that George Zimmerman wasn't arrested for anything.
Nope.
Right,
he was standing his ground.
Without any arrest, there's no reason for booking and blood tests, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so check this out. A fire and EMS report says Zimmerman was on the medications Librax and temazepam at the time of the incident. Now, let me bring this up because let me bring up what they're thinking. I didn't highlight that part. Okay, so he was on. WebMD says Librax is a combination of two drugs, one that reduces stomach cramping and another drug that reduces anxiety. And then temazepam, according to WebMD, is a sleep medication that is used for the short-term treatment of insomnia. I thought it might be interesting to find out what some of the side effects of Librax and temazepam are. One of the side effects that you are warned to see your doctor immediately if you should be experiencing these from Librax is mental and mood changes, such as confusion, agitation, unusual excitement, depression, and strange thoughts. And then for temazepam, another one of its side effects that you should tell your doctor immediately if you're experiencing is mental and mood and behavior changes, such as new or worsening depression, abnormal thoughts, thoughts of suicide, hallucinations, confusion, agitation, boldface and underline aggressive behavior, and anxiety. So, you want to bring up that Trayvon Martin might have been high that night, but this guy was on two different pharmaceutical medications that have a side effect of mental and mood changes, one of which can lead to aggressive behavior.
Now, I just went to a great website, and I'm going to shoot Russ the link on this, because this...
Let's take our break, and we'll get that data up here. Yeah, okay. Definitely. That's good stuff. So, and you'll find, the more research you do on this, how much the use of certain pharmaceuticals has led to so many of the violent incidences that have permeated American culture. Google SSRIs and school shooters. We're going to take a break.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Hi, I'm Keith Strop. I'm legal counsel at Normal, and I'm the old guy who founded Normal back in 1970. I also recently published a book by High Times Press entitled It's Normal to Smoke Pot. I look forward to joining you at the Texas Regional Seminar coming up on June 7th through 9th. The seminar theme is Grabbing Prohibition by the Horns, and one thing for certain, we are at the tipping point in this country, and we are well into the process of ending prohibition once and for all. Hope to see you in Fort Worth in early June. Thank you.
I am not a stoner. I am nothing you've heard. I'm you. We may not be happy with the world that we live in. Politicians who believe in criminalization, making deals with big pharma, and trading big money behind the scenes is not a way to stay in office. I will go to bat for you. I will go to Burning Man and smoke my brains out. I'm Terry Joyce, and I approve this message. I'm you, and also, I'm a witch.
People got questions like 37. Is he the monster MC that speaks impossibly deep on mediocrity's beats? Yeah, the true and living, consuming human superstitions. Cause change of minds takes a highly smooth magician. Crazy thought, maybe every sapien's a baby god, but our brains are flawed, so we never break the bond. Locked in a cage, a generation riding away on a beautiful blue planet with oxygen chains. Take it and run, fight to stay crazy and young. Dance naked, spit fire and aim at the sun. If memory lies, I gotta sever my ties and murder who I think I am whenever I rhyme, infecting the minds of young kids questioning why all the grown-ups are so fucking empty inside. I was in the back seat when the acid hit, had me spitting bad dreams into a bag of chips. Like most monkeys obsess about sex and do anything they can to forget about death. I drop a track with nothing but awkward facts. Ask the herd animals to
music
haul
from
it back.
Wombaticus Rex. That's Winter in Space. Welcome back. You're listening to Toker Talk Radio.
Wombaticus, that's badass right there.
Isn't that great? So Brian the Red's got this excellent site from drugs.com.
I remembered that a couple of weeks ago my buddy had an accident and he was prescribed a couple of different things and he wanted to know if he could just have a beer and he didn't remember, what the interaction potential was. The doctor didn't really say it and there wasn't anything inside the pamphlet that they was given with the medication. So I searched the name of the drug and alcohol online and I found this great website. It's a drug interaction checker, which you can use, which anybody can use, to put in one or a multiple of different drugs using their clinical names, and then check to see if there's any harmful interaction, and any recommendation on what to avoid, basically. So. While Russ was kind of ranting there, I decided to check this
chlordiazepoxide, which is the Librax.
Yeah,
it's also known as clidinium. Okay. So Librax, or chlordiazepoxide, clidinium, and interaction with temazepam. These are the two drugs that they said that Zimmerman
the shooter was on.
This interaction may increase side effects such as dizziness, drowsiness, and difficulty concentrating. Some people may also experience some impairment in thinking and judgment. Like perhaps if a 911 operator tells you, no, don't go follow the kid, your judgment might be a little impaired.
Yeah.
You should avoid or limit the use of alcohol while being treated with these medications. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what happens when you mix chlordiazepoxide. And I love this, right? Remember, every time I'm struggling through pronouncing one of these things, remember they think Super Silver Haze is silly.
Yeah.
I can pronounce Super Silver Haze.
I can pronounce Trainwreck.
Yeah.
A.K.
Chlordiazepoxide and ethanol.
Chlordiazepoxide.
What happens when we mix Librax and booze?
Yes.
Can increase nervous system side effects such as dizziness, drowsiness, and difficulty concentrating. Some people may also experience impairment in thinking and judgment.
Oh. Oh, and just a note here that all of these interactions are on the moderate,
right?
Saying that they moderately clinically significant interaction, that usually to avoid combinations of these drugs and use only under special circumstances if you are. So, I wonder how special he was that night.
All right, let's get to the next one. Now we've done the Librax. Now let's check out the temazepam. Temazepam and ethanol, temazepam and booze, can increase nervous system side effects such as dizziness, drowsiness, and difficulty concentrating. Some people may also experience impairment in thinking and judgment. Interesting.
So taking two medications that they themselves cause impairment in judgment. And we don't know, if he had any booze that night. which is totally legal to mix with these, but we can't have it, gram of marijuana. No, hell no.
Yeah.
That could kill you.
And these interactions for the medical professional, for his doctor that's prescribing him the Librax and the temazepam and all this, patients should be advised to avoid alcohol during benzodiazepine therapy. That applies to both the Librax and the temazepam. And alcohol should generally be avoided during therapy with anticholinergic agents. Patients should be counseled to avoid activities requiring mental alertness, like appointing yourself the neighborhood watch.
And walking around with a loaded gun.
Until they know how these agents affect them. All right, so there you go. There's your drug interaction story to go with the whole Trayvon Martin. Should the jury hear whether Trayvon Martin had marijuana in his system that night?
Yeah.
Blame the victim once again.
Yeah, they don't have any kind of blood test or anything to see what he was all hopped up on that night. He just disobeyed the 911 operator and shot somebody to death.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what's happening in our chat room here. And SSRIs are the only option if you seek help from the system. That's right. That's what's going on here. We got a question, is Vita on tomorrow? Yes, I think we've got Vita booked for tomorrow's show. Vita Crocetta from Marijuana Resolve in Vermont. And let me see if I've got the confirmation on that. But I think we do. Of course, now the computer. Yes, Vita is on tomorrow's show. So check that out. We'll talk about what's going on in Vermont. And I believe we'll talk a little bit about my Box Canyon theory. About how medical marijuana is leading us into cannabinoid pharmaceuticals.
This is great. This drugs website, drugs.com, actually has a pill identifier. So you can put in the color, the shape, and what's printed on it, and it will tell you exactly what it is.
Well, that could be helpful.
That could be very helpful if you think someone's trying to slip you something.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So, check that out. And also, this story in the news today that we covered on our headlines, I want to just address this a little bit more as well. And it's this, the boxing, the UFC. We've been doing all these stories on UFC and fighting, and the Association of Boxing Commissions, because you get all these state boxing commissions that are in charge of regulating mixed martial arts fights, is going to consider this World Anti-Doping Agency raising the marijuana threshold to 150. The idea being that at 15, we're catching guys who may have smoked pot, but long before they went into training or long before the fight or whatever. We're not really catching it as a performance enhancing drug or an illegal drug or whatever. But this was interesting. The quote from, and I believe this guy is the head of one of the commissions. Let me see if I can get his name here. It's Sherry Wolkin. Female, sorry, Association of Boxing Commission's medical chair. They're drafting a policy statement that they're going to be doing at their annual conference in August in Texas. And she says, quote, "In combat sports, marijuana may be used for purposes of elevating pain threshold." Now, this is what I've been saying with respect to mixed martial arts and marijuana use, is at least for recovering, I can see how marijuana can be very helpful for flexibility. Marijuana is great as far as dealing with things like swelling and all that kind of situation, pain, all of that. And so, I can see how they'd be helpful as recovery. But this is being presented in the idea like, if you got really high before your fight and a guy got you in an arm bar, you could withstand more pain. It'd be like going in there doped up on morphine, right?
Performance enhancing.
And for mixed martial arts, when you have to tap out because of so much pain, that can be a performance enhancer.
Yeah, and it increases your flexibility and your pain threshold, so you're less likely to tap out, when your opponent has that move, that finishing move on you,
Yeah, but the thing that she says, though, therefore, at present, the 15 nanogram per milliliter rule still applies. I think she's missing the point. At 15, you're not catching the guy who is, under enough influence of cannabis for that to be performance enhancing in that way. At 15, you're catching the guy who may have smoked weed, a week or two or a month ago, while he was training, perhaps. So are we saying now that using it even during training is a competitive advantage, I guess? Her other point was there's also a concern as to whether reaction time may be altered with use. Well, in a bad way or in a good way? Because in the context of what she was saying in the first sentence, marijuana may be used for the purposes of elevating pain threshold. That's a benefit to a fighter. So in that context, I think she's saying here, the reaction time may be assisted by the use of cannabis. Now, I come from music, man. I'm not a sports guy, man. I come from the music world, and I can tell you that musicians feel like you get a better sense of time somewhat when you're high, depending, there's factors, but generally, that was the old jazz musician thing, right? They could hear the notes in between the notes, man.
Yeah, man.
They could hear what not to play. You dig?
Those accents on the note,
exactly. It was a
timing
thing,
Yeah.
and God, you listen to guys like Gene Krupa, you would believe it, right? So, does that apply in fighting? Because I don't fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But
I'll knock him out.
But and I think I've talked to Toby Greer about this. He's a mixed martial artist. We interviewed him. We interviewed Stephanie Lee, the wrestler, and I don't think we ever got to the point of asking, is this performance enhancing? Do you feel a better reaction time when under the influence?
When there are certain strains, yes, there are certain strains that have some cannabinoid combination that gets me just kind of in the zone, and it's like I get focused. Time seems to kind of slow down around me. Not like time is slowing down, man. It's just, no, you seem to be getting more accomplished in what is equivalent time of, just a regular day.
And of course, another important aspect of this, if we're talking about combat sports, and you look at guys like Muhammad Ali, and you look at, all the boxers who've gone punch drunk for too many concussion blows to the head, what's better for treating concussion than medical cannabis? We're starting to find that it's a neuroprotectant. It protects the brain. If you are making your living getting hit in the head, maybe we ought to let you have that. I don't know. This continue, that other article we did on this with the World Anti-Doping Agency and that guy Dick Pound, remember Dick Pound? Talking about how when he was the head, in 2003, when, United States, or when he was the head of World Anti-Doping Agency, and they were, trying to decide, should we test for cannabis in our athletes? Like it should be a requirement for snowboarding, I think. But when we test for cannabis in our athletes, should we? Right? And most, Dick Pound said, he was like, no, what's the point? Why would we bother? Blah, blah, blah. The U.S. is what pushed the World Anti-Doping Agency to test for cannabis at all. Because, of course, we can't have the superstars on the Wheatie box coming out and being, pot smokers. Because then kids might get this idea that you could actually succeed and still be a pot smoker. And then all those lies we tell about what an unmotivated loser you're going to become go flying out the window. I'm telling you, folks, that January 31st, 2008 photo, was it 2009? It's 2009 because it's my 41st birthday. January 31st, 2009 photo of Michael Phelps smoking a bong did more to kill drug war stereotyping than anything the drug war reform orgs have ever put on the air. People believe their eyes. This is why they believe medical marijuana. They see people actually benefit from it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show and get ready for the replay of last night's A Different View.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Hey, Ellen, want a hit? Want to smoke a joint before trying this on?
There you go, Ellen. You want to get high? We got some great high stick in the back.
Smoke? Kind buds. Sexy.
You're going to love this stuff.
It'll get you really high.
Well, it puts the lotion on his skin, or else it gets the hose again. People soon, save my skin for people soon. Gonna wear it all over town. Gonna dig them up and skin them down and wear my people suit around. People suit is looking mine and sharp.
All right, you know you're listening to a weird show when we're listening to hillbilly songs
about a people suit.
About Silence of the Lambs.
Hello, Clary.
Hello, Clarice.
Some Chianti.
Nice fava beans.
Anyway.
All right, so
enough of that. Just out of nowhere.
Before People Suit came up, that was a 1990s anti-marijuana commercial, which looked like the friendliest neighborhood you could imagine.
That seems like the future. I was like, hey, these guys are all awesome. Where is this city? I want to move here.
I can see why the GAO in their study found that the youth anti-drug ads that they put out in the 90s like that were a big $1 billion waste and caused more kids to want to smoke weed.
Yeah, because the message at the end is completely lost. You know, they're just stuck in the mindset of, oh, mom's going out every day and everybody's getting high.
Like, wow, that's a great neighborhood you live in, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
Hey, your neighbors are freaking awesome. I want to come and visit.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Toker Talk Radio here, and we're just chilling and winding up the rest of the show. I want to thank Brandon Krensler and Aaron Purchase and, of course, Brave Michaela for being in our show. If you missed our first hour, make sure you check the replay coming up in just 1 hour and 4 minutes from now, because it'll be 1 hour and 34 minutes from now, you'll get the Brave Michaela interview at half past. So if you want to see what's happening with our favorite 7-year-old medical marijuana patient in Oregon, check that out. It's your monthly FDA required dosage of cute.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
It was cuteness bomb, almost overload.
I know.
Time, you know.
And really, it's moments like that keep me from slipping into total George Carlin-esque misanthropic despair and entropy. You know, it's that joy from something like that. I tell you.
Yeah, the despair is just a step away sometimes. You know, it's hard for people, to keep on in the face of adversity that we go on through.
You try reading the Google News marijuana feed day after day after day and seeing bust after bust and family after family, and it's just so tough. Oh, and Stereotype reminds me, Brave Michaela also debuts a new song, which is very lyrically introspective.
It was, the daytime and nighttime.
Nighttime, was it?
Yeah,
Dark time?
Dark time, light time.
Something
like that. It was so cute. I can't.
Yeah.
Overload.
We were overcuted. We can't even, imagine or remember what was going on. So check that out. But coming up next in just 2 minutes, we have got a different view with Jen and Iva, and they're discussing, and we got video from the Oregon dispensary that was had a stick-up robbery, and they got the surveillance video.
Relief.
Yeah, Relief.
I have heard of this. I hadn't checked into this. But.
Yep. So Jen and I will go over that on the A Different View show coming up next, and also Iva was playing Kathy Lee yesterday. In that we had not just dabs, but also alcoholic cider.
Oh,
apple cider. So we were drinking on the show. That's entertainment.
Hard drugs
in and of itself. Hey, that's all the time for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Vita Crocetta is our guest. Plus, I'll have a radical rant on Kevin Sabet's latest article with the Baker Institute. We've got to poke some holes into that. Oh, boy. Time's ticking away here at Rolla J Studios. Thank you all for supporting the show. Visit 420radio.org and get your VIP membership if you haven't already. And check out our shop. All sorts of cool stuff to buy. We got stickers. For Brian the Red, I'm Radical Russ. Until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down smooth.
Greatest threats to liberty has been the government.